offered to you, let's say an opportunity to work in your dream company or to learn a skill of your choice, considering how tough the economy in Nigeria is, what would be your choice? Hello, Saints. Welcome to another exciting episode of Catholic Faith Forum. I am Evelyn and Collins, and in today's episode, we shall be discussing jobs and skills to acquire before the end of the year. Joining me in this discussion is an amazing guest I would introduce to you when we return from this break. We'll be right back.
In the Catholic faith, the concept of work has gone down to the roots of the belief that labor is a dignified and essential part of human existence. Pope John Paul II stated in his encyclical Labore Exercens that work is a fundamental dimension of human existence on earth. In light of this, adding the intersection of the jobs and skills from a Catholic perspective, we recognize the fact that human beings have dignity and a right to meaningful employment. It also states the importance of acquisition and development of skills, not just for personal fulfillment, but also for the service of others and the common good. Let us build a world where we don't work just for survival, but for the pathway, as a pathway to fulfillment, dignity, and a shared prosperity for all.
Welcome back, Saints. This is Catholic Faith Forum. I am Evelyn and Collins, and on today's episode, our topic of discussion is jobs and skills to acquire before the end of the year. Joining me in this discussion, oh my God. Joining me in this discussion is an amazing person, my forefather. Person we don't touch Dominican media far reach. In person of Collins Obinwa.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here today.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. It's been a while.
You look good.
Well, according to you, but I'm trying. I'm surviving.
Nigeria stuff. No, you can't tell me that.
I'm
So,
surviving.
see the glory of God all over you.
True, but what you're looking at is my mother. She's that's what you're saying here.
Cute. All right. Collins is a chartered accountant, financial analyst, and management consultant at a consulting firm in Nigeria. And guess what? You already know. He's a former KYF uncle. That's why I said my forefather. So just before we get right into the discussion, how are you feeling today?
I'm good. Yeah, I think I've low-key been wanting to come back because I actually haven't been on any CFF show before.
Wow.
So it's been KYF. So I think I was happy when Padre asked, and obviously I was willing to. And, I'm super happy. Yeah, so I'm good. Happy to be here.
I'm glad. So, since you've been on KYF before, is there any punchline you are used to or you can remember? Let's have it here.
I remember everything.
Okay, let's have it.
Be bold, be Catholic, which is a saying that somehow randomly is thrown to me during, if I'm working in St. Dominic's. Actually, anyway, for people who watch the show. So, and obviously the CFF, keep being saints in shirts and jeans. So, it's really good to be back.
I'm glad. That's amazing. So, about our topic of discussion, jobs and skills, what is a job, what is a skill to you?
I think, so for me, the way I look at it is when you talk about job, obviously, people first think of what you do to earn a living.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit more than that. Obviously, you're talking about something that helps you in your personal and obviously professional development.
Okay.
So obviously, yes, it's a means to earn a living.
Okay.
But it's also something that is very important to your life.
All right.
When there's a huge difference, not huge, but there's a complete difference between talking about skills and jobs. So the skills are like what you call the building blocks.
Okay.
They're like what gets you in. The skills that you build, you develop, are what gets you in. However, the job gives you the platform to be able to harness, build, and continue to grow, right? So the things, they kind of go in tandem, right? Okay. You have to know exactly what kind of skills you need to acquire to be able to get into a particular type of job, right? And obviously, there are a lot of things you want to look into before you decide what you want to do and all those things. But yeah, essentially, that's just how I see it, the difference in terms of jobs and skills.
All right. So from here, we know that you're a chartered accountant. That's professional. So being a financial analyst and a management consultant, is that some kind of job too?
Yeah, it is. For me, I think consulting is very, very like has a large range. It can be
Okay.
consulting, IT, strategy, finance, whatever it is. Yeah. So it's in itself, it's a job.
Okay.
It can also be, you could call it a skill, purely just being able to consult,
Okay.
right, and being able to help companies. So yeah,
Wow.
I think the way there's a way you can look at things, right,
Okay.
and how you particularly want to tell me whether it's job, vocation. There are different ways to look at all those things, right? And I think I can just digress a bit because it's something that there's a Japanese saying, there's an ikigai, I think so, right? It refers to like understanding the purpose for like living or something like that. And it's highlighting like all these different facets of life. It's talking about what you love to do,
Okay.
what you can do,
Yes.
what you can be paid for, and what the world needs. Right. So there's an intersection between all four of them. It's like when you're looking at a set diagram.
Yeah.
Right. But then the middle one is obviously the reason for being. Obviously, there's one being the vocation. What you can do and what you're paid for is the vocation. Happy for you if it's something you love. Sometimes it's not. But yeah, for me, I think I'm lucky that I found something that I also love doing and I think I'm good at.
Wow. Wow. Awesome. So how long have you been on this?
I've hopped around, to be fair. Like they're a bit different. Like I've been an auditor, then I went ahead to be a financial analyst and then management consultant.
Okay.
But it's been up for, I think, since I left school. I took a gap year, but then since I left school, I think 2021. I left school in 2019, then 2020. But then since 2021, so I think getting to 4 years now.
Wow. Beautiful. So with your level of experience now, what's most preferable to you? Combining skill and jobs or just the skill?
I think you can't do one without the other. That's the thing, right? So if we say, I can't just tell you skill,
Okay.
right? Because if you have the skill but then you don't have the job, then I don't know what you're doing, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to feed. Like you want to eat, you want to go out to be able to afford things you want.
Yeah.
So I can't say one or the other. It's a thing of you have to build the skills,
Okay.
and then find the job that's fitting that you'd love to do, right? But obviously, I think one comes before the other. Sometimes you're lucky enough that you can learn the skills on the job,
Okay.
but it's not a hierarchy thing. I would just say definitely I think you need to build the skills,
Okay.
then the job comes in, right? So I can't exactly say one is preferred.
Oh.
When you're applying for a job, everybody wants to know, okay, what kind of skills you have, right? But
yeah, that's
But
true.
you do need the job. You need to get it, yeah. And sometimes you need the job to develop those skills. It's a funny thing. It's a circle.
All right, let's take a break. Let's find out who the saint of the week is. Our saint of the week is Saint Bruno of Cologne. Bruno was born in Cologne of the prominent Hartenforst family about the year 1030. He was a canon at St. Cunibert. He studied theology in the present-day French city of Reims before returning to his native land. Now in 1056, he returned to Reims as a professor of theology, became head of the school the following year, and remained there until 1074, when he was appointed Chancellor of Reims by its Archbishop Manasses. Bruno was forced to flee Reims when he and several other priests denounced Manasses in 1076 as unfit for the office of papal legate. Silver. Bruno later returned to Cologne but went back to Reims in 1080 when Manasses was deposed, and though the people of Reims wanted to make Bruno archbishop, he decided to pursue an eremitical life, that's a monastic life. He became a hermit. How many of you can? He and 6 others built an oratory and individual cells and began the Carthusian order. They embraced a life of poverty, manual work, prayer, and transcribing manuscripts, though as yet they had no written rule. The fame of the group and their founder spread, and in 1090, Bruno was brought to Rome against his wishes by Pope Urban II, whom he had taught at Reims. Okay, so he was the teacher, his student was the Pope brought him to Rome. Now go with me. He was brought to Rome as papal advisor in the reformation of the clergy. Bruno persuaded Urban to allow him resume his eremitical state. He founded St. Mary's at La Torre in Calabria, declined the Pope's offer of the Archbishopric of Reggio, became a close friend of Count Robert of Sicily,
and remained there until his death on October 6th in Ogri. He wrote several commentaries on the Psalms and on St. Paul's epistles. He was never formally canonized because of the Carthusians' aversion to public honors, but Pope Leo X granted the Carthusians permission to celebrate his feast in 1514, and his name was placed on the Roman calendar in 1623. His feast day is October 6th. In Catholic art, St. Bruno can be recognized by a skull that he holds and contemplates with a book and a cross. He may be crowned with a halo of 7 stars. So that's our saint of the week, Saint Bruno of Cologne. Pray for us.
Welcome back, Saints. Thank you very much. We are still discussing jobs and skills to acquire before the end of the year. And just before the break, you are making us to understand that one will require to, build the skills first and before getting the job. And while sometimes people get the job and then they build the skill while on the job. So I would like to ask, what are those things a person needs to consider before selecting a particular skill that he or she wants to build?
There are a number of things. I think I mentioned earlier, like the dissection of the archaea and trying to understand what it is you want, right? So there are a couple of things you need to look inwards, right, to try to find out if that is what you want to do. Obviously, you need to consider those 4 things. What it is, what do you want, right? And it's okay if you don't know, by the way. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
There's no rush, but I think people also have to realize that, yes, there's no rush, but if you stand still, life will continue happening. So you need to figure out what it is you want, right?
Okay.
What it is you think you can learn, right?
Yes.
And what can you be paid? Like when you acquire those skills, can you actually be paid for them, right?
So from what you have just said, are you saying that for someone to, be successful at whatever they're doing, passion is required? Because some people might want what might not bring money to them.
Honestly, that's a good question. I don't know. Passion is I think you can build passion for anything, by the way. But I do understand where you're coming from. To say, definitely you need passion to be able to. I think you do, but sometimes you also need to survive. Let's be honest.
Okay.
You just need to make it through the day or through the month sometimes, right? And it's okay to have those temporal plans, right? So it's to say passion. By the way, you call all these things. If I tell you what I studied in school, you probably won't believe. I spent 4 years studying biochemistry that I've never used in my life.
Wow.
Right? This is not to say I wasn't good. I was a very good student, right? But I would, at that time, I was passionate about it, right? But then over the years, it shifted. I shifted my passion based on my reality. So I think that's one thing people need to understand. Your passion can be something, but your passion can shift.
Wow.
You can shift your passion from something to another thing. Right? It's fine. It doesn't have to be set in stone that when you were 8, you decided you were going to be a doctor, and that is the only plan. Right?
Yeah. It's really amazing hearing all of this about jobs, about skills. But it bothers me sometimes that some people actually do things, or let's say build skills according to the trends that they see. Using this example about content creating.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going into all of those stuffs because everybody's doing it. That's what's trending now. But they do not know that you actually have to wait for a very long time to build follower base and all of that. So what would you say to an individual who their passion shifts or changes according to what's trending?
I'd say I think it's fine. It's funny that you say that. I read something very recently that I think in our generation, I think you would have the most change in jobs as a person. Okay. So which already indicates that I think you're gonna have a lot of change in maybe passion. Not just about passion, but also in things you do. And I think it's okay to be able to adjust to trends. Okay. Because let's face it, growing up, doctors, lawyers, engineers were your parents will tell you from the beginning, yes. See, where they give birth to you, if you're not becoming a doctor and there's something wrong somewhere, you get it. So it's like, those were the only things that existed. And to be fair, that was the trend. The highest paid people were doctors at the time, maybe doctors, engineers, lawyers, right? And obviously growing up, then we had the bank. When the banking system in Nigeria begin to boom, then it became, my son must be a banker and all those things. And then the trends keep changing. Tech came in, everybody's now want to be tech. Then now there's social media, what did you call it? Social content creating. And now, but I think like you called it right. I think the thing is people only see, like when you see the successful people, I think people fail to see the hard work put in, right? Yeah. So it takes a long time to get to those levels. Like even all those top content creators, they've they acquired the skills, all those video editing, all things. It's hard. I try to do it. It's hard, right? And you work in the media, you know. So like for you to be able to get to that level, you need to know that it's not, no matter what, it's fine to change, but you should just need to know that you need to put in the work. You have to.
Wow. I would like you to answer this particular question. What are the high income paying skills here in Nigeria?
Okay, so are we saying skills, are we saying job? Like that's the thing.
And because
can I take them together as one?
Oh, you can.
Okay, cool. So like, I think based off of trends, obviously you want to say tech is like one of the highest paying jobs. Especially if you're in Nigeria and you're working for a company, you're freelancing, you're working for a company outside Nigeria, and they're paying you dollars. I'm happy for you, but that's like probably one of the highest paying jobs when you talk about tech. And obviously you can dissect it, the software engineering programs, and obviously data analytics, data science, AI now, which is becoming like a thing with ChatGPT, all those guys, AI, VR and AR, that's virtual reality and augmented reality. Obviously, there's a whole lot of investment going into tech, and as such, it's becoming a high-paying job. Okay. Then we also have content creating, right? So we have like a lot of, content creators, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, and I think gradually, they're becoming to be like one of the top-paying jobs, maybe even more than doctors, So you can change your passion, right? So there you have, obviously, there are a lot more. You have even in biotech, right? Because of the investment that's been into science and STEM world in general, right? Obviously, I'm going to call the number ones the bankers, especially investment banking, one of the highest paying jobs. We talk about obviously lawyers, doctors, all those things. They're also quite high paying jobs. But I think like in recent times, we've had the trend shift more towards like tech, right? Whether it's health tech, fintech, whatever it is, or content creating, and also I'm going to be honest, I think consulting too.
Amazing.
But I don't have money, but like
amazing. Let's take another break. Let's meet with our Know Your Faith crew for Know Your Faith session. We'll be right back.
Welcome to another episode of Know Your Faith series, where we talk about doctrines of the Catholic Church. I am Elefachi, and on today's show, we'll be exploring the meaning and essence of cathedraticum in the Catholic Church. For us to truly understand cathedraticum, we have to understand its Latin roots. I know some of us, this is the first time you're actually hearing this word, but now we'll learn more about it in this episode. The term cathedra translates to seat or throne. In the context of the church, it refers to the bishop's chair or throne, symbolizing their authority and teaching role. Cathedraticum is a financial contribution made by parishes to their bishop, recognizing the bishop's pastoral responsibilities and the role of the parish in the broader diocesan community. Historically, the concept of cathedraticum can be traced back to early Christian communities. It emphasizes unity and mutual support among different parishes within a diocese. The cathedraticum is not just a financial transaction, not at all. It's a tangible expression of the communion and solidarity that binds the various parishes in a diocese to the bishop, who serves as the visible source of unity. At the parish level, discussions and decisions regarding cathedraticum involve collaboration between the clergy and laity. So it's not just for the clergy alone. It is a shared commitment to the mission of the church, fostering a sense of belonging and shared responsibility. Cathedraticum is a reminder that our parish is not isolated, but connected to a larger body, which is the diocese. And not just that, it supports the broader work of the church, contributing to charitable efforts, education, and maintaining the bishop's ability to lead.
I believe you now have a better understanding of cathedraticum. Make sure you support your parish when next it's time. Thank you so much for staying with me till this point. Remember to subscribe, like, and share this video. And as always, be bold, be Catholic.
Welcome back, Saints. If you're joining us for the first time, you are not late. Our discussion is still centered on jobs and skills to acquire before the end of the year. And just before the break, Collins here was telling us about various skills here in Nigeria that are high income paying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said something, but let's just forget that last part. Yeah, forget it. That job, there's no money.
Share the money now, please.
There's no money to share. Nigeria stuff.
All right. So this question is, where are skills built?
Yeah, thanks. That's a good question. I think you could argue in school, right? I think school is a good place, obviously, but I think it depends on the type of skills we talk about. Anyway, I think as much as we talk about the actual hard skills, like, whether I need to learn coding, all those things, I think building soft skills are also very important, like, emotional intelligence, team building. These are things you should pick up from school. Right, team bonding, communications, visual and written comms. Wow. These are things you should pick up from school. But I also think there are a lot of platforms. I think if you really want to learn certain things, a lot of platforms you could use online learning. That is one way, right? And then obviously physically, I think you learn if you identify a mentor, somebody who's probably doing well in an area you want to. Yeah, that is somebody you can actually learn from. So there's so many places, there's no limitation. School is a good platform, yes it is, but you also have like other resources. You could find a good mentor within the industry, someone who has done very well. Try to, as a way to go about those things anyway. Try to find a way to, connect and network with those type of people, learn. And then obviously with online learnings, there's YouTube, there's different things you could do really, but it's not a one size fits all. You don't say, it's in school, and then you focus in only school. I think you can learn from so many other places.
Wow, soft skills is actually new to me because I feel like people pay more attention to what we just give them money, but I think communication, team bonding, just
I would say that I think
is really important.
Like the hard skills will get you the job, but I do think your soft skills keep you in your job. It keeps you in your job and probably gets you promoted faster, I think. Because I'll tell you this, if you work in a corporate organization, you find out that the social butterflies in the offices or in the workspace tend to be more noticed. Not to say take anything from people who are very reserved or anything like that, but I think because of the way they are, the skills like the team skills, the bonding skills they possess, it allows them more recognition. Wow. So I think it's something people definitely have to build.
The hard skills will get you the job, the soft skills will keep you there. All right, what would you say to an individual who has multiple skills, but they do not know how to maximize those skills they have, to generate income?
First of all, if you're in this Nigeria, you have multiple skills, you're not generating income. I don't know. Like it's quite. I think it's a reality. Some people do. But I think it's quite funny to hear, because I think things are already tough as it is, right? So, and I think there are so many things that you should be able to do. I think once you're trying to learn the skills, or even if you have those skills, right? For example, say you're a very fantastic photographer, right? You know that you have. If you don't have a portfolio, if you're not, creating that online platform, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, and building that platform, then you're not really a good photographer, are you? Only you're the only person who knows that, right? So having the skills, it's good, right? But you need to be able to, at the end of the day, you need to be able to translate those skills to, I'll use the word impact. Now, what impact is to you can be, the impact I want is more money, right? Yes. And that's what I want. For other people, it could be impact in terms of maybe number of people's life they touch, whatever it is, right? Yeah. But you need to be able to translate. If not, it's a useless skill.
Wow.
Right? So you need to be able to translate it, and obviously you can do that in so many ways. Obviously, I think you should, for people who are doing a content creator, leverage a lot on online platforms, right, and do a whole lot of all that. And definitely, I think if you're doing more, more corporate skills, you need to find yourself in areas. Network. LinkedIn is a good social platform to use. True. Network. Try to find yourself in situations that will eventually get you to utilize those skills, but also provide impact for you.
Wow. There are some individuals, that have ventured from one skill to another, And some people don't have the ability to, persevere for a moment. Maybe when they are faced with really tough challenges, they'll just give up. So, you can actually just look right into your camera and, encourage them. Yes.
I don't know. I think one thing I would say, like, the Nigerians have is perseverance, I think, if anything. Because I think we are used to being pushed, I think, a lot. But I will say that if you find it challenging where you've tried so many skills and it's not been very fruitful, I would use this exact same word. You have to try to persevere. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Sometimes it takes just a stroke of luck and you get exactly what it is that you're looking for. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Collins. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
for shedding so much light, sharing from your wealth of knowledge on jobs and skills. I am so confident that I have learned too, and I know my viewers, you all have learned.
I hope so. I would hope so.
Oh, always remember, Saints, that you need soft skills, you need hard skills. Remember that the hard skills will get you the job. The soft skills will keep you there. All right, if you have questions and contributions, do not hesitate to drop them in the comment section. Follow us on our YouTube channel at Dominican Media. Turn on your post notifications. Follow us at CFF on TV on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I remain Evelyn and until next time, together we say, keep being saints in jeans and shirts. Bye-bye.
Bye.